You know how often we reach for that cheap pod machine, only to realize a week later that the coffee tastes flat, the milk froths like a lumpy pancake, and the whole thing is louder than a blender on high? I've been there, and the regret that follows a bargain basement espresso setup is what makes me pause before any new purchase. That hesitation is why I spent a few mornings actually testing the KitchenAid fully automatic espresso machine KF3 before I hit record. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. My goal here is to tell you whether this unit feels like a smarter buy or just another shiny gadget that will collect dust. First off, the biggest mistake people make in this category is assuming automatic means no maintenance. The KitchenAid KF3 tries to bridge that gap with a few clever tricks: a built-in burr grinder that claims to auto-adjust to any bean type, an auto milk system that remembers texture and volume per drink, and a quiet grinding motor that lets you start a shot before the kids are even awake. Those sound nice on paper, but they matter only if they translate into a smoother daily routine. I set this machine up in a typical suburban kitchen, a counter about 3 feet wide, a modest power outlet, and a habit of drinking both a strong espresso in the morning and a chilled iced latte on hot afternoons. The first thing you notice is the footprint. KitchenAid says the model is 25% smaller than previous generations, and in practice it really does feel less imposing. It sits comfortably between my toaster and a small fruit bowl, leaving enough room for a milk jug and a few mugs. If you've got a cramped countertop, that reduction in size is a genuine advantage. No need to sacrifice storage for a coffee bar. Now, the grinding experience. The machine's quiet grinding system lives up to its name. When I hit the grind button, the sound is more of a muted whir than a grinding roar, which is a relief if you share the kitchen with a partner who still values their sleep. The burr grinder is pre-programmed to sense bean density and roast level, tweaking the grind size without any manual dial. I tried a light Colombian and a dark Italian roast. The machine adjusted on the fly, delivering a consistent dose that produced a balanced extraction each time. For someone who doesn't want to spend 10 minutes tweaking grind settings, that auto-adjust feature saves a lot of guesswork. The real differentiator, though, is the 15+ recipe menu that includes both hot and over-ice options. Most automatic machines stop at hot espresso, cappuccino, and latte. This model adds an over-ice setting that brews the coffee at a lower temperature before it hits the ice, preserving more of the nuanced flavors that get muted when hot water meets a cold glass. I tested an iced Americano and an iced caramel macchiato, and the taste held up better than the iced drinks I've made with a regular pod system. The lower brewing temperature for iced drinks isn't just a gimmick, it actually prevents the bitter over-extraction that can happen when hot water is dumped over ice. The auto milk system is another spot where the machine tries to earn points. You can select the milk texture silky microfoam for a cappuccino or a lighter foam for a latte and the volume per drink. After a few uses, the system seems to remember my preferences. I programmed a cold oat milk latte that automatically froths oat milk, pours the right amount, and then adds the espresso shot. The result was a calf-style latte with a creamy mouthfeel, without me having to manually adjust a frother. If you regularly drink milk-based drinks and prefer a set-and-forget approach, this is a practical time saver. That said, there are a couple of trade-offs you should know before you click Add to Cart. The first is the water reservoir. It holds just enough for 3 to 4 drinks, which is fine for single-person use but means you'll be refilling it mid-morning if you have a household of 3 espresso lovers. The second is cleaning. KitchenAid promises routine care is easy, and the drip tray and milk system are dishwasher safe, but the grinder housing still requires a manual brush to clear the fine grounds that accumulate over time. I found myself wiping the grinder after a week of daily use. It's not a massive chore, but it's an extra step that some fully automatic machines hide behind self-cleaning claims. So who should walk away with this machine, and who should keep looking? If you're a coffee enthusiast who wants a decent variety of drinks, especially cold coffee in a compact footprint, and you're comfortable performing a quick brush out of the grinder each week, the KitchenAid KF3 is a solid match. It's also a good fit for households where noise is a concern. the quiet grinder means you can start brewing at 6 a.m. without waking the entire family. On the flip side, if you need a high-capacity water tank, you prefer a fully self-cleaning system, or you're looking for a machine that can handle multiple simultaneous drinks, you might feel constrained. Likewise, if